Again warning federal agents to stay away from their homes, Edward and Elaine Brown hinted that violence would ensue if anyone tries to arrest them. The couple has remained in self-imposed exile, refusing to turn themselves in after a conviction on federal tax evasion. The Browns say income taxes are voluntary.
If there is such a law, why don't they just show it? No one has been able to do so.
The couple was joined by Randy Weaver, a survivor of the botched federal raid on Ruby Ridge 14 years ago. His presence underscores the tension that such a standoff may not end quietly.
I hope that they learn that the Browns are right. The federal government have been lying to them for years.
The Browns say they have no intention of leaving on their own. U.S. Marshals insist it's time the couple turn themselves in and begin serving their 5-year prison sentences. The Browns have other ideas.
We will either go out of here totally free and exonerated because there's no crime, there's no victim, or we will defend to the death.
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Edward Brown,
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To decline this call.
Mr. Brown, it is good to hear your voice.
I've been trying for 10 minutes to get through, but I have a cold.
I don't know what's going on. I tried to accept the previous phone call, but it wouldn't. I don't know what happened, but it's gone through now.
I heard it click it. Well, you know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I'm glad to hear and talk to you folks again. It's been a while.
You know, I'm reading a book by Red Beckman. It's called Why the Militia, and as I'm reading it, I cannot help but think about you and Elaine and Daniel and Jason and the true heroes that you are. The whole book, I've got to get you a copy of this book.
No, don't bother. I've read it.
Oh, okay,
It's a good book.
Okay.
I had it already. Thank you.
Okay.
I've been trying to get a hold of the chill-toting people. I have been to some degree. This is kind of important only because I can see the distress that they are in out of Canada. And the people that have already signed or gone aboard trying to help and work with those people here in the States. There seems to be some kind of a conflict with the understanding of the corporate United States. Of course, you know there is no standing government any longer in this country. And that's what the Rangers are all about. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm in prison right now, as another political prisoner along with my wife and friends.
Yep.
However, things are changing. Everybody needs to know. What we have found out over the past 12 years, thank you very much to the legislative court system, which the judicial court system no longer exists in this country, except by special appearance when you so claim it to get an Article 3 trial in the district court or the appellate court, which I'm in the process of doing right now. However, I've gone through the district courts, and they they declare an emergency on the case. Then they recuse themselves in toto. All judges back away from the hearing, and they won't hear the case. Then they dismiss it about a month or two later. Twice they've done that to me so far. So I have had to walk away from them because they have abandoned their duties and their fiduciary responsibilities as a court of law to hear a case that is a hue and cry case of national security issues in an emergency. I'm trying to explain to them that we have a coup d'etat being conducted within this country that we've been tracking for a very long time. We have hard evidence as to what's going on in toto ourselves, from the presidential office all the way down, especially through the Department of Justice, down on its rank and file with every agency within the corporate structure of the United States of America. My responsibility as a United States Constitution Ranger is to
This call is from a federal prison.
Is to expose what I find, to bring to Congress what I find. I'm being blocked from bringing this to Congress. The courts refuse to hear it. The Department of Justice refuses to hear it, and the way they refuse to hear it is by totally ignoring all my attempts to notify them of the danger that this country is in by a foreign national Asiatic organization within the structures of the United States of America Corporation under a democracy. The Republic has been put aside in a bureau drawer, and that dates back to 1871. These people are extremely intelligent, unlimited funded to do whatever they wish to do, and they have very great patience to slowly conduct this coup d'etat within the United States to slowly take it over. They had realized through history that they couldn't take us on a frontal attack by going in here and trying to have a war with us, because it wouldn't work, and they lose. So what they had done is they've been slipping people in here since the Civil War. Actually, a few before the Civil War, but especially since the Civil War. And when they conducted the Act of 1871, that act alone created a corporation in Washington, D.C., and took the 10 miles squared that they were supposed to be able to stay within, and they expanded it now to God knows how many square miles. And they turned the United States government into a corporation and has unlimited powers for themselves at the expense of the American people, each and every one of them. The method with which they did this was through the birth certificate and through the Social Security card and numbers. I have a letter from Edwin Mendell House, not from him, but of a presentation he gave to Woodrow Wilson in 1921, stating what they were going to do to the United States of America. And this country is now in the hands of an organization out of Europe known as the Crown Temple, or the Crown Templar. They are not the Crown of England. They are a separate crown that actually was created by the Knights Templar way back in its day. This is something that everybody that hears these words or sees these words must look up for themselves on the computer, because I can't afford to send everybody any of this information. It's that bad. But they can do it themselves. I will give everybody on every phone call I tell, including the people who are listening, the absolute truth of what's going on. It's all fact of record. Joe Goten people are trying to do something very similar. I'm finding this out. They don't even know I'm investigating them, even from prison, to see exactly who they are. And I went through the history today, and I found them in an encyclopedia here at the law library. And they're there. And they have every right to do what they're doing, and they're a lawful organization or a lawful country. They are the fourth within the Americas of North America that we didn't even know about. I think it's time we all slow down, stop doing what we're doing, and pay very, very close attention to the words that I'm saying to you. People on the street also know this, and I will give you websites as the time goes on, or email addresses, which everybody can contact to get the absolute truth again, to know and understand the treason that's going on in Washington, D.C., with the Department of Justice at the head of the entire thing. And the tool that they use in this country is, in fact, the Jesuits of the Vatican. The Vatican itself has the understanding from the Magna Carta of 1215, under the belief that they own the United States of America. And any and other all masses that the English crown, was the crown at the time, possessed. Better pay close attention to the Vatican as well, too. Francis, for the first time, is the Pope. But Francis is not only the white Pope, he is also the black Pope. That's unheard of. You don't have a black Pope and a white Pope in the same individual. How can that possibly be? The arrogance of the Vatican itself is extraordinary. They are extremely intelligent people, but they are not very smart. They're arrogant, and they have a new name that I want everybody to know and understand, that they call themselves. I didn't name this, they did. I couldn't think up of half of this stuff that I'm telling you right now. They call themselves the Divine Hidden. godlike individuals who hide amongst us like a parasite, slowly milking us and sucking us dry of everything that we own. They create these ZK trusts with your birth certificates and a social security card from the day you are born. All American people.
Caller.
And they create these security bonds called ZK trusts, which the Vatican itself created in 1616. These trusts are applied to every single court case. Every time somebody walks into court as well, it creates new trusts. They have many, many hundreds of millions of these trusts in there, all making money. This money that it makes, not money, it's just Federal Reserve notes, but it's numbers on a book. And the book, it's called the Legacy Treasury Direct Account. It's a two-column system. They have two of those, and they also have a Treasury Direct Account. I'm just giving you words right now so you can look them up on the computers, everybody, and find out the truth for yourself, because I can't give it to you in order the way I would like to. So I'm getting it out to you as quickly as I can so you only at least have it and you can play with it. As I talk to you in the future, as I am allowed to do so, because you understand, too, at the same breath I'm giving you this information, the Vatican, the Jesuits own the prison system on a global basis. We have found that in the records throughout intelligence research that we've been doing. So if the Jesuits and the Vatican seem to own everything, how did that happen? Where did they come from? There is a hidden organization that overtakes every organization that's worth anything sociologically, globally, in every country of the world. And it's been going on for the last 1,000 years plus. And they are an Asiatic people. They are parasites who have slipped in organizations way back 1,400 years ago. That's a record as well, too. I want you to find the answer for yourselves, exactly who those people are. But the bloodline is clear. The testing, what do they call that? The DNA testing that you can do? Absolutely, proof positively has shown exactly who they are. I even saw it on a video here at the library, where somebody pointed out who these people were, and I was stunned. But these same people are the same people that, and let me tell you, the groups that you're going to worry about, be concerned about right now in this country is the Jesuit Vaticans, who control everything. They track them back to England, track them back to the banking system, back into to Europe, especially in particular into the Khazarian people of East Germany, the Khazar. And they're going to say, oh, it's the Jews. It's not the Jews. The Jews were created in 740 by the Khazarian people. Everybody needs to know this. But the blood, the first blood that's tied to all of this that really matters is the people that created the Khazar. Know this well. Every word you're hearing, write it down. Look it up. There's your enemy. All countries in the world have the same people as their enemy. You know yourself through history just by looking.
This call is from a federal prison.
Movies and videos and stuff. The Jesuit priests, since their existence of 1532, have been all over the world. In every third world country, every country that you can think of, doing their deed for the Vatican. Well, the Vatican was already taken over by these Khazarian people. That's history. That's a fact. I didn't come up with this stuff, but I found it along with other people. And we're tracking this hard and well. And the reason that they put my wife and I in prison was because I put up a sign that said, the Zionist, Communist, Freemasons now control Washington, D.C. Well, the Khazarian people, I didn't know it at the time, but the Khazarian people now control Washington, D.C. And all those other groups I just mentioned. Zionists, Communists, Freemasons, they created all of it. Now, pay attention, folks. There's your enemy. They declared us their enemy through Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1933. Under the Trading with the Enemies Act, I think of 1913 or 1970, I think it was 1913. They declared all people of the states of America alien enemies of the United States corporation. It's on the books. It's hard evidence. It's prima facie. It's in your face. You think you know everything out there? You're telling people out there, Rudy, Evan, they think they know. They're so smart. They don't know nothing. If they do not expatriate from the corporation, they're going to remain slaves, and it's going to get far worse than they think as the years come to pass ahead of us in the not too distant future. It's getting worse now. I'm about to get shut off again. Any words for me?
I'll just say that I believe you're an American hero, Mr. Brown, and that I'll say that if someone arrives at the truth of which you speak, you mentioned expatriate, as well as, you know as well as I do, the DOJ and the FBI have targeted patriots across this country, and there are many, many, many patriots that lives have been destroyed once they've been incarcerated and set up on false charges.
Please tell them to stop being so aggressive, everybody. Back off. Pay attention. Get together on this information right here. Because there's going to be, I know it. I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, America has shown this to these enemies of this country before. You push us too far, and we're going to start pushing back. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's the people within these agencies of government, in the town, cities, county, state, and federal.
That's Ed Brown. I think his release date is 2045. He's never hurt anybody. He had a peaceful standoff with the IRS. And this man will die in prison. Ron Paul referred to him as an American hero. And I believe that he is an American hero. And I don't think that Ed Brown, Elaine Brown, Daniel Riley, or Jason Gerhard should have spent the last 10 years in prison. I believe that all of them should be released. And I pray that you take the time to write Ed Brown a letter. Let him know what you think about what he just said. And lift him up in your prayers. And pray to God and ask what you should do to help Ed Brown, Elaine Brown, Jason Gerhard, and Daniel Riley. Thank you for your time.